The fight over a plan to remove a 119-year-old wooden grandstand overlooking the Takaka showgrounds is once again off to court. Tasman District Council says it's tried to suit all in its bid to complete a $3.5 million recreation centre next to the stand, but the grandstand has to go as it needs the space for a car park. Two groups wanting to preserve it are challenging its decision, and supporters are now keeping watch 24/7 in case the council brings in the wrecking ball before the court decides. Our Nelson reporter Tracy Neal caught up with some of them yesterday during an alpine winter blast blowing through the bleachers.
There's a chill wind blowing through Takaka, not from fresh snow on the hills, but from a community bitter about plans to take away a treasured piece of its past. Pam Delaney has lived in Takaka since 1979 and has joined the group of rostered volunteers to keep watch on the grandstand, rain, hail or shine. She explains what it means to the community.
Oh, it's just the history that's been here over 100 years. Why demolish something that's history of the town?
Mrs. Delaney has a flask of hot tea to help her stay warm and a smorgasbord of donated food to keep hunger at bay.
There's always something to eat.
I can see a bag of chicken feed, Peck and Lay there.
No, it's a rubbish bag. But the food that's been brought up here is incredible.
By the community?
By the community, yep. People that can't be here.
There's plenty of time also to log poems and drawings in the communal volunteers' diary. The Golden Bay A&P Association has teamed up with the Golden Bay Grandstand Community Trust to launch this latest bid to save the stand. A&P Association Vice President Noel Bagent grew up in the Bay, left at 16 and returned 6 years ago after being away almost half a century.
My great-grandfather was the very first president of this show, and then following on from that, my grandfather, he was also president and life member of the A&P show. My mum and dad have both been president, and then when I came over here I thought it was time that I did my bit as well.
The two organisations are seeking a High Court review of the Council's earlier decision, which has already run the gamut of planning and legal processes. Last year, the Trust lost an Environment Court bid for an enforcement order that would have prevented the stand's demolition. The Council says it cost ratepayers around $100,000 to defend, and it's looking at about another $40,000 bill in the next round. Another long-time A&P Association member says the council did try to resolve the matter by offering to shift the stand, but Duncan McKenzie says too many questions remained.
The resolution was to shift it off council land onto land nearby, and then to the site to be decided after that where it was going to go back to, so which is totally unacceptable. Once it went off the council land, we'd have a hell of a fight to get it put back on where we wanted it.
Most of the residents in Takaka Township spoken to by RNZ want the grandstand to stay.
Yes, of course it should stay. It's part of our heritage.
I think there are much more important things to be doing.
The people that want it gone, I can't say what I think of them.
I can't see why it can't stay.
Oh, I think it should stay, absolutely. I don't know what the first decision was based on, and I have asked, and many people who have strong opinions don't know.
The grandstand is an assemblage of buildings modified over the years, but it contains remnants of the 1899 open-topped grandstand. Tasman District Mayor Richard Kempthorne says in 2010 the council and the community began drafting ideas for a new community centre at the site. It opened last year as a multi-sports venue and community centre.
That was worked through with the community. At one stage, the council decided we actually weren't going to build it at all because we were wanting to reduce debt and not do an additional recreational facility, but there was a strong call from Golden Bay to reintroduce it into the long-term plan, so we did.
Mr Kempthorne says the new centre was built with about $1 million of funds raised in the Golden Bay community. He's disappointed that the matter is going to court yet again.
We're at a stage now, because of the public pressure, there is a lot of angst and we're in a bit of a spot.
The matter will be heard tomorrow in the High Court in Wellington. In Nelson for Checkpoint, Tracy Neal.